like I'm trapped. My body shouldn't look like this. I hate it.
There's almost nothing in this world that can compare to the feeling of taking that first bite when I haven't eaten in a while.
I'm ashamed of my body, and I know I'm getting to a point where I can't go back.
Travis Henry's story kicked off with a shocker that set the tone for an emotional roller coaster on the show. His journey was packed with highs, lows, and downright failures. Battling congestive heart failure and diabetes while juggling 13 to 14 medications daily, Travis's life was anything but easy. Just imagine trying to keep track of all those meds. But what led him to this point?
If I ever get to that point where I'm not gonna bathe, then that's me saying I give up. And I don't want to let things get to that point. But it's still extremely hard for me to do. And I have to have help.
Diving into Travis's past, it became clear that his struggle with food started early. As a kid, he found solace in food while spending time with his grandmother, who inadvertently played the role of an enabler. By 18, he was already weighing in at a hefty 450 pounds. Could his grandmother's influence be part of the problem?
I'm scared that my heart, that's the first thing that's gonna go. I never know when it's gonna give out on me. So when it gets like that, I have to take a moment to regain my strength before I walk back to the couch or wherever I can sit and rest again. But it takes everything out of me.
Travis's life was marked by significant challenges, including growing up in a single-parent family and experiencing the loss of close family members to heart-related issues. Losing his job due to his own heart condition only compounded his troubles. When life got tough, Travis turned to food for comfort. How would these hardships affect his journey to health?
Still a kid, had great friends. No one teased me about it at this point. But as I got later in high school, I started to gain even more. Because when I turned 16, I got a license and an old car. And that meant I can get whatever food I wanted whenever I wanted. So I started gaining even more then. By the time I was 17, I was probably about 350 pounds. So my weight was getting out of control. And I ended up having to drop out of high school and get my GED to finish. But after I got my GED, I knew it was time for me to be living on my own.
The plot thickened when Travis lost his job because of his heart condition. With his wife Yasmin by his side, he dreamt of starting a family. However, Yasmin was concerned about his health and urged him to lose weight first. Now, faced with this challenge, what steps would Travis take to change his life?
What if the doc doesn't approve me for the surgery?
I can't think like that. That's not an option. Dang, I didn't even think about that. Thanks a lot, dude.
At a crucial turning point, Travis sought help from Dr. Now, tipping the scales at 702 pounds. Dr. Now prescribed a strict 1,200 calorie diet and exercise regimen, aiming for an 80-pound weight loss in 2 months. Yet, adhering to this plan proved to be a struggle for Travis. Could he truly commit to making a change?
First of all, to get down size, but I want to have a real wedding, give my wife a real wedding.
That's a good event. So use that to motivate you to work hard and start making these changes, okay?
Yes, sir.
Because if you don't, then you're not going to be around long enough to do that or any of the goals you have. You got that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
3 months down the line, Travis had barely lost any weight. His diet included unauthorized additions like protein shakes and peanut butter and chocolates. When questioned by Dr. Now, Travis couldn't justify his actions, laughing off the seriousness of his situation. But why was he so nonchalant about following the diet?
I eat mostly at home. Every now and then we may have to grab something on the go real quick.
All right. So in other words, you have not made a good effort to make the changes. You can lose easily 60 pounds in 1 month if you stick to the diet. But all I'm asking you to lose is 70 pounds in 2 months. So you should be able to do that, okay?
Despite warnings from Dr. Now, Travis's journey continued to be disheartening. Dr. Now issued another 80-pound weight loss challenge, painting a grim picture of Travis's future if he didn't turn things around. Yet, at his next checkup, Travis had gained weight instead of losing it, still joking and shrugging off his predicament. Would Travis ever overcome his hurdles?
How far off from the goal I was. I'm doing this diet to the letter this time, so that it doesn't happen again when I go back. But it hasn't been easy at all. It's taken every bit of my willpower at times. And I would say today is the hardest day yet, because I've been really stressed out about this move. We have a friend of ours from church, Darren, who's helping us. But I'm still not able to help as much as I like.
Seeing Travis's lack of seriousness, Dr. Now recommended he see a psychotherapist. The therapist's advice for Travis to write down his troubles like a sermon led to an unexpectedly emotional moment for him. This exercise opened up a floodgate of emotions, marking a poignant point in his journey.
I've come too far for that. But I know that's what's going to happen if I don't figure this out. Me and Yasmin are back in Houston for another follow-up with Dr. Down. It's been 3 months since my weight loss surgery, and I know I've stayed on track with most of that time. But today's weigh-in will show if I kept that going this past month, and I'm a little nervous about that.
In the end, Travis's tale took a heartbreaking turn. By the episode's close, he weighed in at 704 pounds, having gained 15 pounds instead of losing them. This outcome was a gut punch not just to the viewers, but to Travis himself, highlighting the challenges and emotional turmoil faced by those on their weight loss journey. Travis's story is a stark reminder of the complex interplay of emotional, physical, and psychological factors that participants must navigate on their path to a healthier life.
So if I'm back on track, then I should be below 394. Hey! Yeah. Good job. I'll take that. It's not 20 pounds, but it's close enough, and I know it's a lot better than last time.
Nikki Webster's journey on the show is like a roller coaster that you can't believe until you see it. At 33, she bravely steps into the spotlight, ready to share her story, which, let me tell you, hits close to home for a lot of folks. Every morning, Nikki woke up feeling thankful just to be alive, given all the health battles she was facing. It's a journey full of twists, turns, and moments that'll make you hold your breath.
When I wake up, the pain that I feel is overwhelming. Every bone in my being is telling me to lay back down. It's miserable. I feel like I'm trapped because it's just difficult.
After getting a serious wake-up call, Nikki decides it's time for a change and moves to Houston, all set to tackle her weight problems. At first, things look bright. Nikki drops an impressive 50 pounds and you think, wow, she's really doing it. But then, life has a way of throwing curveballs and Nikki's no exception.
There were many times that I would talk to her about her eating habits, but Nikki has told me food is one thing I have control over. It hurts my feelings when you talk to me about it. Finally, I'd say, okay, you know what? Nikki, I don't care. So I just give her what she wants.
Just when things start looking up, Nikki hits a bit of a snag. At her next checkup with Dr. Now, the scale doesn't show much progress. In fact, she's barely lost a few pounds. Dr. Now isn't thrilled and decides to pause her weight loss plan, pointing out she's not making enough progress. And here's a twist. Her mom, who Nikki thought would be her biggest supporter, turns out to be more of a roadblock than a help. This is where Nikki's journey takes a turn, mixing emotional ups and downs with her physical struggles.
But right now, I'm just focusing on not eating anything I'm not supposed to. Courtney knows that I'm trying to lose the weight, and I'm hoping this will help our relationship. I would like to talk to Courtney about when she distanced herself from me.
Feeling stuck and a bit lost, Nikki reaches out to her mom in a super emotional moment. She's pouring her heart out, crying, and sharing how disappointed she is. It's a raw reminder that losing weight isn't just about the physical stuff. It's also about handling all the emotional baggage that comes along for the ride.
You know, I worried about that every time
And I just wasn't thinking about what it was doing to you.
You have a life to live, and I'm so excited to see you coming alive.
Give me a hug.
I love you. so glad you're here. Me too.
As Nikki keeps trying to push forward, it's clear this journey is about more than just dropping pounds. It's about fighting through the setbacks, figuring out her relationship with her mom, and learning a lot about herself along the way. Nikki's story is about the tough parts of trying to change your life, especially when you've got to deal with both physical and emotional challenges.
I think I felt like I was just never good enough.
I hate that you ever felt that way. Hope I don't ever hurt your feelings, because I love you. I love you too, baby.
Let's talk about Randy Statham, a guy whose life really shows how personal tragedies can totally change how you see food and yourself. By the time he hit 35, Randy was dealing with a ton of health problems like asthma, sleep apnea, thyroid issues, and depression. And if that wasn't enough, he also had severe lymphedema in his leg that really messed with his ability to get around.
It's already gotten to the point where I had to move back to my parents' house so I can get help from my family. Hey, Dia, could you help me with my shoes and socks, please?
Yeah.
Now, there's 11 of us in this house, 7 adults and 4 kids. And I'm just like an extra kid that they have to take care of. My sister, Danielle, she always comes running when I need help.
Imagine being so big that just trying to clean yourself becomes this huge challenge. For Randy, who was also really big on staying germ-free, being clean was super important. Despite all the hurdles with his weight and lymphedema, he never missed his daily shower. For him, it was the only way to feel really clean.
About to find out. But whatever the doctor tells me, I have to make it work. Because this is my last chance to get my life back.
6:55.
So what are your eating habits like?
Throughout the day, just snacking and then having like a big meal and then I'll snack during the day or something like that.
What do you snack on?
Candy bars or stuff like that.
So who buys them?
Usually me. Or unless I ask my mom or dad to pick me something up on the way home.
You live in a house with how many people?
11.
11 people?
11 total.
How many of them are overweight?
You see us. Us 3, 1 more is overweight.
So you live in a household of unhealthy eating. So it's going to be very hard for you to stick to a low-calorie diet if nobody else is eating that way.
Yes.
Randy's battle with weight kicked off when he was just a kid. To deal with bullying, he turned to food for comfort, and his mom, trying to make him feel better, would often feed him more. Food became his go-to comfort, a habit that eventually saw him tipping the scales at 940 pounds.
I know my weight is dropping a lot each day, and I'm excited about that. But I'm so close right now, and I don't want anything to stand in my way.
But Randy wasn't just any guy. He was a super talented singer with a love for gospel music. He used to light up the church with his singing. The real highlight? He performed at the club in Harlem, where a big-time producer noticed him and offered to work on a new album together. A dream moment, right?
You said heart rate is 80? 85.
Randy came in after having passed out. If the issue is his heart and is failing, we may not have a lot of time to correct this situation. Okay, Randy, we're gonna go ahead and keep you in the hospital so we can run some tests and find out what's going on with you immediately, okay?
All right.
Things got incredibly tough for Randy when he lost his mom and one of his sisters within just 8 months of each other. The loss hit him so hard that he ended up in a coma for 12 days during his mom's funeral.
I just talked to your father and he told me what's going on. Let's backtrack and see, what did you eat all day today?
I just had about that much of one of them protein shakes.
That's it?
Yes, sir.
That's not enough. You may be suffering some complication from malnutrition.
I don't have an appetite. I know you told me before I have to eat, but it's just hard.
Okay, Randy, we get you fixed up and back on track, but you need to slow down.
But through all the tough times, Randy never threw in the towel. He spent over 2 years in a nursing home working super hard to get better, and then went through a major surgery, a gastric sleeve, which helped him shed a lot of weight.
This is about living and being healthy. So he needs to slow down and do this in a healthy way. If he pushes himself too hard, he could end up in a life-threatening situation.
However, life threw another curveball at him when he lost another sister and fell back into his old eating habits, gaining a lot of the weight back. This was a huge wake-up call for Randy. He realized he wasn't ready to give up just yet.
I didn't realize how much damage I was doing, pushing myself so hard. And I realized, talking with the doc and thinking about things, that it tears me up when I think I fell at something. So I know that makes me treat everything like a competition.
Determined to make a change, he reached out to Dr. Now for help. By the end of the year, Randy had made a big move to Houston, Texas, and managed to lose another 119 pounds. Randy's story is nothing short of inspirational. It's about facing the toughest challenges life throws at you, dealing with loss, and fighting to take control of your health.
But he has lost over 200 pounds. It's not a question of Randy making it to his goal. It's a question of him doing it right. And right now he is. I'm happy with your progress.
I know it's just gonna get better as I go.
All right, I'll see y'all later.
Thank you for everything.
He just has to stay on track like he's doing now.
Imagine having your dreams within grasp, only for them to be shattered in an instant. That's what happened to Mike McGinnis. Once a hopeful athlete with his eyes set on the NFL, his world came crashing down when the NCAA declared him medically ineligible to play in college. It was like someone had hit the pause button on his life. His plans, aspirations, and identity were all stripped away from him.
I started as a freshman playing football, and it was just fun. I loved college, enjoyed every second of it. But after 5 games, I got a concussion and I sprained my neck. 2 weeks after that, my first practice back, I got another concussion, and the doctor told me I'm not allowed to play football anymore. It's like, ever again.
When he got his second concussion, I think his spirit was broken right then. According to the NCAA rules, he's done. Knowing that he wouldn't be able to play anymore, that was tough. I know he was depressed.
Faced with this devastating blow, Mike found solace in food. What started as a coping mechanism for stress quickly turned into compulsive eating. As his weight reached 745 pounds, his personal life took a hit too, culminating in a divorce that left him even more isolated.
I found out that my wife was going to divorce me. I called my parents up and said, I got to come home. And that's when my health really took a turn for the worst. General Tso's.
Oh, I like General Tso's.
After the divorce, in the first 2 months, I gained a good 130, 140 pounds. Since the divorce, I haven't been able to keep a job, and I lost my family, my kids.
Realizing the direness of his situation, Mike knew it was time for a drastic change. He reached out to Dr. Now in Houston, determined to turn his life around.
We decided my dad's going to come to Houston with me to see Dr. Now. And if he's able to help me, then whatever he tells me to do, I'm going to do it. Because I need to turn my life around, and I'm ready to fight to do that. I can't keep going like this. Something has to change before things get worse for me. Because I would say that I'm considered to be on my deathbed. I could die in my sleep tonight. And that's hard for me because I want to be there for my kids. So I have to figure out how to turn my life around now before I lose the last bit of life I'm holding on to.
However, his journey to Texas was delayed by child custody arrangements, adding another layer of complexity to his already turbulent journey. Despite these hurdles, Mike's resilience shone through.
So let's work to get yourself ready for your weight loss surgery.
Sounds good to me.
Nice to see you guys.
Nice
Thank
meeting
you.
you too.
I am very happy to see the progress Mike has made so far. He could have lost a good bit more over the last 3 months, but it is enough to show me he's making a choice.
Through video chats with Dr. Now and a temporary move to Houston, he finally underwent surgery in 2021. His fight took a terrifying turn with a severe case of cellulitis, nearly claiming his life and serving as a harsh wake-up call. Weighing in at a staggering 763 pounds, Mike knew he needed help. That's when he turned to Dr. Now, hoping for a miracle.
And hopefully Dr. Now agrees.
Hello, how y'all doing?
Good, how are you, Dr. Now?
I'm doing well. All right, Mike, you moved down to Houston?
I did. Got a place
about 10 minutes away from here.
All right, so is your dad gonna stay with you and help you out?
Yes, he is.
All right, Mike, you are today 601, which means you lost another 41 pounds over the last few months. That is about 14 pounds a month. So losing 14 pounds a month is not much weight loss.
Initially, Mike's progress was inspiring. Dropping a good amount of weight in just a few months, he was on track, but the road was bumpy. However, events changed when he moved back to his starting weight of 733 pounds, and Dr. Now had no choice but to cancel his surgery. Yet Mike's resilience shone through. With determination, he lost 94 pounds and finally got his surgery done.
I've been back home for about a month, and I feel like I'm doing well and staying on track. Milk, soup, cottage cheese, pudding, jello, tuna. I think it's a good list.
That'll be good for a while.
I'm out of here. Before I left, I had an appointment with Dr. Now, and I was down to 545. So I lost another 17 pounds over the previous month. Dr. Now says I was getting back to being on track.